Welcome to the Ro&Dash podcast.
I'm Ro.
This is Dash, and today's topics.
I mean, a bunch of stuff happened since the last time we were on. Last time we were recording, Super Bowl was happening. So Super Bowl was over. Chiefs versus the Eagles, and that was quite a beatdown. I thought it was gonna be a blowout. I thought it was gonna be a complete shutout.
That was an amazing concert.
Oh, you're talking about?
That was an amazing concert. The little.
Did you watch the game?
The little sports event.
Did you watch the game first?
The sports event that happened before and after. That was cute. But that was an amazing concert.
I mean, the game was good. It was a good game. The Chiefs did a little bit too.
They did nothing. The game was trash. It was like 30-3, and then they tried to.
They tried to come back.
Mount eight. No.
They tried.
Being in an 18-point deficit is not coming back.
You know the score?
40-22.
Huh?
That's 40-22. It was like 30-3 for like 3 quarters.
They're getting picks left and right. And then they're just getting stopped on defense. So, I mean, the Eagles came prepared. It was a rematch. So the Eagles came prepared, and they got that W with a resounding W.
There was a statistic specifically for the Eagles. They're the first team in history to stop three different three-peats or something like that. Like, I think there was one with
Thank you.
The Patriots.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember the other one, but then this was with the
Chiefs.
The Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
That was the third one, and they keep stopping people from three-peating. Ain't no three-peats out here. The last three-peat we got in any sporting event,
Lakers,
and of course Mac McClung. Because this guy's out here jumping over cars and shit. So
He's always been dunking like that.
All-Star was whack. All-Star was whack. I mean,
let's hold off on the All-Star game because
it was whack.
It was trash.
It was whack.
I mean, we have a couple fingers we can point at.
But what?
Or why it's whack.
No.
Anyway, yeah, that concert was amazing.
It was a good concert.
That was a very great concert.
Good halftime show for the Super Bowl.
The fact that it was free too, like you didn't have to. You could just see it at home. That was amazing. You have to pay a $300 surcharge for a concert ticket. That was amazing. It's great. Tubi, thanks Tubi, thanks.
Super Bowl was on Tubi?
Hey, hell yeah, yeah, it was on Tubi. What? Hey,
I didn't know it was on Tubi.
It was great.
Yeah.
Not choppy.
Yeah, I made it back home in time to catch the halftime and then the rest of the game.
So, all right. So let's actually dissect. Let's get into the halftime show. So, what are your thoughts overall?
It was a good show. I like the Samuel L. Jackson playing Uncle Sam part, which is pretty good. Pretty good for somebody that's known for multiple roles to actually get Samuel L. Jackson to play Uncle Sam. At first, it seemed that Kendrick seemed kind of winded in the beginning, the first half of the performance. Like it seemed like he burnt himself out, and then he caught his second wind towards the end. So I was watching it, and I'm like, he seems like he's a little winded on it. But then as soon as like the tempo started to slow down, he definitely fell into his thing.
This is a song.
Yeah.
That was about the midway point.
Yeah, so he slowed down, and then we already know the song that played at the very end. So
I had my reservations about GNX like when we
already talked about GNX. It was
meh.
Yeah.
It was okay. But his first half was a slew of songs from that album.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not an avid Kendrick watcher, you're not gonna get a bunch of the symbolism. But he kept throwing like the entire time. It's funny because my wife is sitting next to me and she's just dancing, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, yo, is he really gonna do it? the entire time, because he's throwing like little hints the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And like if you're not of the culture, which is what he said, if you're not of the culture, then you're not just simply gonna understand what I'm saying. Like he's like, I could sit you in front of a Picasso for hours and you're not gonna understand. Like you're not gonna get the painting.
Yeah.
Right? You're not gonna understand. Going from the first of all having an all black, mostly male. You just have an entire cast of just all black males, and then either you're wearing red, white, blue to signify the flag, Uncle Sam. Those are the easy. Those are the easy parts. When he was on the stairs, a nation divided, black man in the middle. And then one of the ones that really caught me was when everything started to slow down, he had I think this is like maybe like a song or two right before he played Not Like Us. The dudes on the corner.
Oh yeah, I noticed that too.
Like at the street light.
Yeah.
And how many of us have been there?
Yeah,
how many of us have just been outside chilling, polying with our crew, no matter how big, how small, like we've all been there. Like, and it doesn't matter what hood it is. It doesn't matter whether it's New York, Chicago, Compton. It could it's there's a hood everywhere, right? And with that being said, that if there's a hood everywhere, then that means that there's a black crew everywhere, right? We're all around this country. We are, like, it's not Black history, which is why I have a slight issue with the month of February. We are American history, right? This has been built off of our backs. This is widely known, and it's like, we're always last. We're always last in line, DEI. But I mean, then he got to the actual song. I didn't think he was gonna do it.
Why not? He won the awards of it. Why not? The wording of it.
Yeah, because
but like certain things, it seemed like he did change certain words.
He not really. He didn't say nigga.
Yeah, he changed.
He didn't say he didn't call Drake a pedo. And he allowed the crowd to say A minor. Right? So like those regardless if the belief if they were fake noises or not, right? You still had.
I mean, at the award ceremony, it wasn't fake noises.
Yeah.
At the award ceremony, it wasn't fake noises.
But you still had a nation come together all at once, depending on your internet connection, saying A minor, which I thought was only a double entendre, right? I thought, like, when it first came out, I thought it was when did it come out? June, July. Yeah. I thought it was only a double entendre. I thought it was, obviously the all white keys and piano, one of the simplest music, tones that you can make. And then obviously he likes A minor. He likes minors, right? But then I didn't realize, I just found this out recently. Dave Free back in 2020 made a new catalog, a new group, and the logo is the letter A that he was wearing, and two kids pointing up at it. So A minor. So it's officially dubbed the triple entendre, and that's crazy. Yeah. So like if you've been plotting this, because
they were running around with it on the little flags too.
Yeah, that's right. So when did that Control verse come out?
Control.
When did that
with
Control? With yes.
That's a minute.
That's like a decade. It's like a decade, right? Yeah. And then he was on the BET. He was on BET like 2014, right?
The freestyle.
Yeah. That's when it really first started. 2013 was the Control. 2014 he was homie. Start looking in the mirror.
I'm youthful. Don't be talking like that.
What happened?
So I'm youthful. Don't talk like that.
Stop. So it's not out of the realm of possibility for him to have plotted this, but to think that he plotted it
for so
5
long.
years in
That's
the
kind of
making,
crazy.
you're sadistic.
Yeah.
You're psycho.
But it's like Batman.
Yeah, like Batman.
Yeah.
You looked at the camera and he smiled. He's like, "Hey, Drake."
Yeah.
Like, now that's corny.
No, that was cool.
Oh, that was cool. Yeah, you look like, but yo, it's done.
Yeah.
Now you got Drake out here going to his concerts with a hoodie that has bullet holes in it with smoke coming out of it. Hey, that's a double entendre. You could look at it as y'all got shot up.
I'm still alive.
I'm still alive.
Yeah. He's all right.
Yeah.
Drake will be fine.
He's still gonna have his fans. They're still under the same record label. You know, and regardless of what anyone says, Kendrick's performance at the Super Bowl had to be cleared by the multi-billionaires that control the media and the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
All the owner, everyone had to clear it. You know, so pinpoint certain words. He didn't say nigga. He didn't say pedo. He stayed away from even though it's for the culture, which I went to work the next day and I didn't a lot of people I didn't understand it. Wasn't for you.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Even like the crowd itself, because the crowd was large majority white, or the sections that they weren't, I didn't get it, because even when I went to work, a lot of people were like, the halftime sucked. I'm like, that's
for you.
That's how it is. It's gonna suck. Like,
that's why
the halftime shows, either it hits for everybody, that means that the person is extremely pop, or it just doesn't do it for it. It's either country, it's either an R&B artist, a rap artist. They're gonna have a variation, but it's not gonna hit all parties.
I mean, we're probably gonna get blacklisted for me saying this, but like if Taylor Swift came on next year,
a lot of people,
I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like,
yeah, but
it's not for me.
If they put on a good performance, they put on a good performance. Not a lot of people listen to rap that we know of. Like, I know of a lot of people that don't listen to rap. And if you look at the crowd, it's a large portion white. Some might listen to rap, but a large portion don't dabble into rap. So to have a rap artist there, they're like, I don't know who this person is. And
or they do know, for one song.
Yeah, so it's like it don't hit across the board like that.
Yeah.
So,
which is fine, because like everything doesn't have to be about everyone.
Yeah, the halftime show gives people opportunities to be open up to a larger population, I feel. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. In our case, I think it worked, because it was also to help with the PG lane.
Yeah.
That to get that out, but also it gives the other groups or people. Well, there's a lot of old white people there, so then they're probably not gonna listen to rap. But yeah, a lot of people said they didn't like it. I liked it, but it is what it is, I guess.
It's more symbolic than anything.
It is, but it's just
more symbolic than anything.
It's gonna hit. It's gonna hit some people. It's not gonna hit, and some people are just gonna be disconnected from it.
Well, because they don't live the lifestyle. They don't have the same. They don't have the same trials that he's talking about.
Yeah.
Like, there was multiple different. Like, it's one thing. It's one thing to be knowledgeable. It's another thing to actually live it. Like, there were so many different things that I witnessed throughout, and like it just clicked, and it's not gonna just click for everyone, because they're not.
They come up different.
You have a different upbringing, So it's.
Yeah, but
you have to have some sort of
But I think usually,
minority struggle.
Yeah, but I think usually what it is like, it's not a he doesn't produce elevator music or shopping mall music that people are gonna hear just going about their day.
Yeah, being safe.
Yeah, so it's not that type of music where I was like, oh, I heard this song before. Oh, this is the person that sings it. It's gonna be like, oh, it's a rap artist. I don't listen to his stuff. It's like Taylor Swift music would be playing in the mall.
Yeah.
So it's like, and a lot of people there might shop in malls or high end stores, or might, because we don't know, it might have been gifted. But it's, if you look through the crowds when they're doing the camera shifting, showing it, it's a large portion of white people. So
That's all.
The crowd was dead though.
it was dead. It was dead. I cannot lie. I looked and I was like, I was like, There's a.
What are you talking about? Like during the
Yeah,
during
because
the performance?
because I mean they don't they don't understand it.
I didn't even talk about the video game, the PlayStation controllers.
Oh yeah,
You can talk about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, again, if you're not in the know and you're involved in the culture and soaking it up constantly, then you just don't understand a lot of the references.
Yeah.
Right? So I mean, listen, man, everyone can't be Mike. Everyone can't be Mike, yo.
Mike Jackson.
Out
here pausing the Super Bowl show.
He said he did it for 2 minutes. The director.
You heard of that before?
Yeah.
The director.
He said, I saw it.
The director came out and was like, he was
going crazy, right?
He was going.
Start the show,
insane.
Mike.
He was like,
start the show, Mike.
Mike. He's like, Mike, what's going on? He's like, yeah, I want to kind of delay him, hype him up.
Anticipation.
Yeah, and he was like at like a minute mark. He was like, all right, Mike, let's start the show. He's like, what's cue, Mike? I think
Take his sunglasses off.
take the sunshades off. Yeah. Listen, man, everyone can't be Mike. Everyone can't be Mike. Everyone can't be Whitney Houston.
Man, you're right though.
Everyone can't.
But it's a different era though, because
it is a different era, because you asked me. All right, when did Beyonce do it? Years ago.
Search it up.
Me. Right. Who's the Weeknd was good.
I mean, but everybody hears of Beyonce. Beyonce is popular. Is pop music. What was that supposed to represent?
I don't like. It's not memorable.
Oh, was it 2024? Beyonce did it.
2024.
No,
right.
it wasn't.
No, that's not.
No, it
That's
wasn't
pretty
last year.
recent. Dude.
Google fucking up right now.
Who else?
Bruno Mars
Man.
Did Bruno Mars do it? He did it, right?
Yeah, he did it. Man, he did it recently, like 2024, 2023 or something
Bruno
like that.
Mars 2016 was Bruno Mars and Beyonce. She made an appearance.
And Bruno Mars, gotcha. Yeah.
So then who did it? So who did it in the last couple of years?
Missy Elliott.
Damn, I don't even remember her.
Missy Elliott was pretty good.
I remember Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre's was good. Dr. Dre's is he put on a show, and that was mostly with the exception of Eminem. His was mostly black people. Mary J. Yeah, Mary J. come out too. Or was it was Snoop? He had it was Dr. Dre, Snoop, M. He had 50.
Kendrick, right? Kendrick was there.
No, Kendrick was there. But Dr. Dre ones?
I can't recall.
But listen, not everyone could be these.
Yeah, you're right.
High-end stars. What?
You're right. It was Snoop, M, Mary, and Kendrick.
It was Mary. I remember Mary.
And Kendrick.
Yeah, because she was the only chick there. He had a chick. I remember. Yeah, she was the only girl there. But anyway,
and 52.
Sticking with sports. So you want to talk about NBA All-Star?
It was trash.
Tradash.
It wasn't as good as I thought it was going to possibly be. I mean,
it's been trash for the last couple of years.
But I thought like the new format would be a little bit different. Something a bit more competitive, but it was kind of like the same.
There has been no competition. There hasn't been competition. Kobe retired in 2016. There probably hasn't been competition in the All-Star game at least since then.
Yeah.
2015, around there. Everyone's best friends. Everyone is just this is a relaxing weekend. It's not for the fans.
It's all the stars or the superstars going against superstars. Like, so
and they don't they feel like they have nothing to prove.
I mean,
even between one another, they feel like they have nothing to prove.
Yeah, that's what kind of makes it suck because before when we had Iverson and had Kobe and T-Mac, they were actually playing. Like sometimes, they gave people the opportunity to shine, off the backboard dunks and but
like if someone went for a fast break, you're not gonna see somebody
jump out of nowhere
and try and block it, right? But that was their time to put on a show.
Yeah, but when they would play defense.
Yo,
they would get shaked up and then
watch. So
it was like
you can watch a video of Kobe guarding LeBron full court.
Yeah.
Full court in an all-star game. Like he's like, I'm gonna shut you down. And mad different plays. Like and then who was it? Melo came at LeBron. I think it was Dwayne Wade came at LeBron. It was like, yo, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. Like, yo, stop passing the ball. Like, you go at him. Mm-hmm. Nah, you want to pass the ball. Alright. So, I mean, if you want to point a finger, I got 2 fingers. Adam Silver, LeBron James. There you go.
Really?
Yeah. Why?
I mean, Adam Silver, he was been trying to reinvigorate the All-Star game.
If David Stern was still alive, all this player choice wouldn't be happening. Which is why you're starting to see the shift of the owners start taking back control. Stephen A. said it months ago.
But
that Luka Doncic trade was not about basketball.
He said it years. He didn't say months. He said it years ago that it's coming. And then I think last year he was like, "It's going to happen." So
it's happening. This is you've never seen a trade like that.
No, you never seen a trade like that.
Never seen a trade like that.
I don't know, but this year in general, we talked about this like briefly, but like this year in general, like the NBA games, they don't hit the same
because everyone's chucking up 53s.
Yeah,
there's
no mid range. There's barely a mid range game.
You can count on 2 hands.
Yeah, everybody's standing at the 3-point line.
Yeah, you can count
passing to the 3-point line to shoot the ball. So it's like, damn.
You're already starting to see going back to the Lakers. You're already starting to see the LeBron effect on Luka.
Why you say that?
He's just standing there. This is why what Steph does is so powerful. Because like you're tired. You're tired at the end, like at the end of 2 periods, at the end of 2 quarters.
Because you're constantly running.
You're constantly running after this little motherfucker, and I'm saying I'm calling him little, like he's not taller than us. But like in hindsight, in basketball, what is the average? 6'5", 6'6",
6'4",
6'4", yeah. So he's shorter than that.
Yeah.
So but he's running around all the time,
and then you gotta go through screens.
You gotta get through screens. So it's like the big stocky dudes like poof, like yeah, where you going? Like and then his shot is his shot is so quick.
Yeah.
It's so.
And they've been on a run of late too, especially adding Jimmy Butler. Like I said, like it opens everything up because he has the ability to get open. Because I watched a couple of the games, he has the ability to get open. And then once they started to collapse on him, it opens Jimmy right up. And then Draymond has the ability to pass to him or
Jimmy Butler was the tallest dude on their in their lineup.
Right now, no, Kuminga's like the same height. Isn't
in the starting lineup? In the starting lineup, Jimmy Butler is the tallest dude on that.
Like, they do what they gotta do.
Crazy.
They don't really. Seem like it don't even matter.
But yeah, like. You gotta run after this dude so much, and you getting tired. Like that's hard to do. Luka just standing there, yo. He just standing there.
But maybe he's still probably. They probably try to tell him to limit because he's not playing as many.
He just had his first full game.
If that's the case, then that was 32 points he dropped though. So I mean, it's not like LeBron's not gonna be there forever. So eventually, he's gonna come into his own play style. Maybe he's being coached. Maybe he's.
I mean, you would hope that. I guess what you would want out of it is for LeBron to teach him how to train.
Yeah.
I think that would be like the biggest part of like Luka's development. It's not him on the court because he just took Mavericks team to the championship, and how they won a game.
Yeah, they won one.
They won one. So, you know, depending on who you facing up against, he could have won another game, or he could have actually won that, right? But
and Boston is just too.
Boston's just too stacked.
Yeah, too big.
Boston's too stacked.
Yeah.
Too big, too long,
too much power,
and
there's just too much power,
and too much and too much 3-point ability.
Yeah, but they couldn't stop them
at all.
They couldn't stop it. They couldn't stop Porzingis, and then you have to worry about Jaylen Brown
because
their starting lineup is a problem. Like they have the defense and they have the firepower.
Yeah,
and then they had nobody to stop Porzingis because he's taller than everybody.
Yeah, he was wilding.
Yeah, he was going.
He was the first game. The first game he was back. He was bugging, and then like he kind of went on a downward tip.
He's still injured
as he was going, but
he was still injured, but he was doing his thing.
He's still just his presence alone.
Yeah,
just him being on the court changes a lot of stuff for them. But yeah, that's what I got. Like, if you want to point a finger, you point it at Adam Silver because you're the commissioner, you're the leader. Yeah. Like, you need to start thinking about ideas on how to get viewership up.
Yeah, because I think viewership overall dropped this year for the NBA.
You telling me that ticket prices are up. Mm-hmm. You telling me that concession prices are up. You telling me that to be able to watch, I need NBA League Pass, or I need to pay subscriptions for whoever to watch, and the product is not. It's kind of feeling like the NYC train system.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean, regardless,
all my New Yorkers caught that reference.
Steph won the MVP for All-Star.
I mean,
but
2022 was a way better year.
It was
just the amount of the amount of awards that he got.
Yeah,
this one's kind of like this one might go in his daughter's closet.
Yeah, it was good. I think they just need to come to the drawing boards and figure out something that I think doesn't completely separate from what was being originally done. How they had East, West, and West.
I think they need to go back to how it was in 2020. God rest his soul. When Kobe died, when they did three quarters, you play, and then the fourth quarter, the first team to get 24 points.
Mm-hmm.
But
it was 24 points?
It was 24 points. Mm-hmm. But there was like some because that didn't make sense, because what if I have less points, and that doesn't make sense.
Wasn't a point cap?
It was something like
whoever got to whatever number first.
Yeah. It was something like that.
I mean, they should do that, but this.
Oh, I think it was like whoever
I think it was 140 something.
Nah, I think it was. I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up.
I think it was a point.
But that was like the last one I could even point to. That was like, all right, this is a decent time.
Yeah, they have to do something, because
dunk contest, trash.
The dunk contest.
Yeah, dunk contest.
Yeah,
I said drunk contest, didn't I?
it was
on a drink.
Yeah.
Not a dunk contest.
It was trash. I mean, this dude, he was
back to back. 3 times.
Back to back.
First time. First back. Yeah. Oh boy. Back to back. First person to three-peat in a dunk contest. Yeah. If you look at all his competition this year, I would have to look at the other 2 years.
They weren't that great.
Well, not even just that they was that great. They weren't that great.
I mean, this year. No.
This year.
Yeah.
But I'm not even talking about that they weren't that great. I'm talking about he's the shortest dude on the court.
Who you guys talking about? Just for
Mac McClung. Okay. He was the shortest
dunk
dude.
contest this year.
I'm just so the people know. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So the people know.
He yeah. So this dude, his first dunk was he dunked over a car. Mm-hmm. Better than Blake. Mm-hmm. When Blake did it, it was like, oh snap! He brought out the Kia, and That was advertising too. Like
they had partnership with them.
Yeah, partnership with NBA. Like, okay, come on, IKEA.
Yeah.
But
windmill.
Was it a windmill?
Or not? What do you call like that? Reverse windmill?
Reverse. I think he double clutched it in reverse.
Yeah, I think it was a double clutch.
But he jumped over the hood.
He did jump over the hood. He didn't jump over the car itself.
The roof? I never seen that.
No, he jumped over the roof.
That's a real jump.
Cleared it.
Yeah.
He cleared it. Like, I was like, oh, this. And then after that kind of took the breath out of the entire room, because it was like, yo, that's the dunk you start off with? So then you looking at the other dudes, it's like, yo, y'all just trying to survive. This is just a formality at this point. Like, this dude just literally jumped over a car. Like, you really gonna beat that?
I mean, the NBA insiders, who was that? Chuck,
Shaq, Kenny, and Ernie.
Yeah, because this is their last year together.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a contract thing.
That's crazy.
That's a whole nother story. But they were saying like
they should start on YouTube.
They could.
They should start a YouTube. I'd watch that because they're one of the only reasons I still watch.
Yeah, because they're funny.
They're funny and they're actually analyzing.
Yeah.
See, even though some of their takes are wild, but Shaq and Chuck have solid points, and very like sometimes they be wilding.
Yeah. But
a lot of times they have solid points, and like it comes into fruition.
Yeah, but yeah, they were saying like the previous dunk contests were more thrilling. Like
star-studded.
It was star-studded. It was actually star players. It is. Well, some of them were.
Well, you go back to 2000.
Yeah.
Vince said it himself. He was like, "Yo, if you ask Tracy McGrady, like he's gonna say that I made him do it, but he was like, yo, I wanted to go up against the best, and I knew that he was one of the best dunkers.
Yeah.
Like especially at that time.
Yeah, Tracy good.
Before his injuries and stuff like that, like he could get up.
Yeah.
Like Tracy McGrady is one of the only other people that said that Kobe said like, yo, he gave me a hard time.
Yeah.
He can do everything that I can do.
Yeah.
But just taller.
Tracy McGrady is a monster.
But
it's and apart from the Zach LaVine and
Aaron Gordon, that was good.
That was amazing.
That was good.
Did they have it? Was it a rematch? Did they have a rematch too?
It was 2020.
So that was.
They cheated Aaron Gordon. One of those years he should have won, yo. Because we're never gonna get to see him again.
Yeah.
But one of those years he got cheated. Like even the announcers knew. I think it was D Wade. I think D Wade messed it up because he was supposed to put up a 50. He put up a 9. He was supposed to put up a 10. I mean.
Yeah. Those dunks, that dunk contest was like one of the best.
Now you want but now you got John Morant talking about I might have to join.
Just do it. Like,
you got Giannis talking about if you do it I'll do it.
Giannis like this is doing no dunk contest.
I mean, y'all not creative. That's the biggest thing.
Morant, I think he has the creative ability.
I think Morant might have a little bit of creativity.
What's the guy on Houston? One of the younger dudes, he be yamming it on people. I think he has the ability to that'd be a good dunk contest if he becomes an all-star himself. Mm-hmm. He has the ability to as well.
You don't need to be an all-star.
You don't need to be an all-star, but
you want the star-studded.
Bring the star attention
to it. Yeah. And who else? Who else would it be? I hate to go back to LeBron, but like
LeBron,
he could have did it once. But he doesn't have the creativity either.
I mean,
everything is a tomahawk.
Yeah.
Everything is a tomahawk. Peep it. Game.
If you watch some of his older games,
he games it crazy.
His older games,
it's rough.
If you watch some of his game dunks from when he was on Cleveland,
the first thing
he was doing a run. He stole the ball and he did a 1 foot over the free throw line dunk. Like they were chasing him down, he stepped 1 foot over and took off. And I was like, yo, like that would have been amazing to actually see him in a dunk contest, but he just never did it.
And after I think when he went to Miami, it was over.
Yeah.
Like after that point, it was over. Like he needed to have done it in that first Cleveland stand.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I have a question. Do they when they judge the contest? Do they put power into that? Because I like LeBron when he yam it hard. Like what you talking about.
It's part of the fact of.
Oh, okay, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Because slam it when you put force into the dunk.
It's like yo, he's wilding right now.
Yeah.
So they point you for finishing. They deduct points for how long it takes you. So it got to be that first go.
Okay.
That's the only like if it's not that first go, then they looking at you like, all right, come on.
Yeah.
How hard, like, you know, how, like, yo, is the backboard about to break? Is the rim about to break? Like, that's how they, can you hear it clank through the TV? Like, that's, because think about it. If you could hear it clank through the TV, imagine being there. He's oh, snap, right?
I just didn't know. That's good.
So, yeah, that's, I mean, like, there's, you know, not a lot of different criteria, but it's like, you know, how it looks. How many times it takes you, stuff like that. You know, the creativity of it all. Like, yo, is it? And it's hard now, yo, because this is like the 30th.
Yeah, I mean,
year.
People are getting
35th year.
I mean, their abilities to jump higher, or you could do like something crazy, like a free throw line. I'm gonna say like a free throw line in between, kind of like what Zach Levine did, or you could just remix other dunks. You don't have to do anything.
So I went back to it and I watched a mix of like the you know top 50, you know, somebody's top 50 dunk contest like dunks. Zach Levine did he did a lot of the same dunk.
Yeah,
he did a lot of the same dunk, yo. I was like, oh, and then Kobe's dunks weren't on there on the top 50, and I went back. I was like, oh, Kobe's not on there, and I went back to when he won, and I was like, oh, his wasn't that great.
No, they weren't.
I was like, oh, his wasn't that great.
I think Kobe's best dunks are
in game.
His in game, like the reverse.
No.
When he's going under the rim and then you think he's gonna lay it up and he just dunks it.
Yeah,
those are always good.
Who else had crazy in dunk?
I mean, Vince got it.
Obviously, like
Blake.
Yeah, Blake had
Dwight.
The Orlando Dwight
is a problem. Yeah.
Orlando Dwight was a problem.
Yeah.
He
beat LeBron. He beat LeBron to the. He messed up the whole Kobe LeBron Nike commercial.
He did.
Made it funnier.
Did make it?
Yeah.
He wouldn't have won that anymore.
Nah, he wouldn't. Not that year. No.
He ain't had nobody. You talking about? Are you telling me that Ilgauskas was gonna shut down Andrew Bynum or Pau Gasol? What that happened?
Or Odom. Or Fisher.
Who would have been guarding? Was Larry Hughes still there? During that run?
Larry Hughes on
Cleveland. Was he still there? During that run?
I'm not sure. I can't recall. I don't remember the.
I'm trying to figure out who's guarding who.
Well, Fisher would have outplayed
Booby.
Yeah. So. It wouldn't have worked out too well. It wouldn't have worked out well.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
And he was what, like 2 years removed from being swept.
Yeah, and then Kobe would have turned into a freaking monster because it's LeBron. So just to prove a point.
Just to prove a point.
Yeah. So.
All right. So moving along.
But talking about crashing and burning.
Oh, come on. That was not a good segue, son.
What?
That was not a good segue. You're wildin'. That's not a good. All right. So we talk about the plane crashes. I had to start looking this up, son.
No, but go ahead.
I had to start looking it up because, like, I usually tend to stay away from, you know, huge media conglomerates, CNN, Fox, ABC, all of that. I try to stay away from them.
Oh.
But the amount of plane crashes that's been happening, you know, I got friends, family, co-workers that are about to start taking plane. I actually got a coworker right now, probably on a plane, and I had to get more information on it. So what I found is that it's a lot of smaller planes, right? It's a lot of one, you know, Joe Smoles or Jane Doe's.
It's like 50 passenger capacity planes.
Not even. Some of them are even smaller.
Yeah, but it's all small. It's small
super small. and then like you had the big one, which was still kind of not big. It had 80 some people, but that was like the first commercial airlines to have a crash in like 15 years or whatever. Mm-hmm. My biggest question is who's on these planes? Because you already know how I get down. Who's on these planes? And if it's not about who's on these planes,
I think it's just it was just highlighting it due to the firing of certain FFA, but it's just there's plane crashes that's been happening every year. Like we've had in the news that whole planes just completely disappear, mm-hmm. and they're looking for the plane. Mm-hmm. So we're
can't find
exactly.
It.
So now it's like now you want to highlight it,
yeah.
Being that like, and we talked about this the last episode, like we touched on it briefly, but like being that there was firings that happened in the FAA. Now it's like, all right, now we're gonna start highlighting all these crashes that's been happening. And it's like, yo, they're not crashes that are happening in the air. Some of them are.
That Black Hawk was
some like one or two are, and then but other than that, they're happening during the landing. So the plane takes off flying from where it is, mm-hmm. and then when it's landing, and if you see the conditions where it's landing, there tends to be a lot of ice on the floor.
Yeah,
So it's like they landing, and then either the component on the plane fails, or wherever it's touching down, the plane cannot sustain a weight or whatever.
I wanted to one of the questions also was I wanted to find out, where are these planes departing from, or where they're arriving to, and I'm seeing that it's like they're all over the place.
Yeah,
Arizona, Alaska, they're all over the place. So there's no, I'm not seeing a direct correlation between any of these flights. I'm not seeing any connection.
So I think it's just being overly highlighted by the news media, or media itself.
It's funny what you had told me, off camera before. He was like, we was talking about this, and he was like, yeah, everyone's trying to blame Trump. Like, how can you blame Trump? He replaced some people, but now magically everyone forgets how to
fly planes,
or how to do air traffic control. Like magically you just forget. That was mad funny, but it's true though. Like, I'm not.
It doesn't.
I'm not going to. It doesn't make sense. I'm not going to replace somebody, that doesn't and get somebody that doesn't have basic knowledge of the wherewithal.
I mean, they say there's layoffs, so I'm like, all right, common sense would be, and like we already talked on that, common sense isn't so common, but common sense would be that they will leave enough, or they'll leave people there that could handle the situation. So the plane, because there's still millions of flights that are taking off.
Yeah.
Across the country, every day. So they're highlighting. All right, they're highlighting. Oh, this plane crashed. Well, it happened because of these mass layoffs. No, it's not happening because of mass layoffs. Plane crashes on a regular basis every year.
And it seems like those. So I mean, I don't know if this is gonna ease your minds or anything like that, but it seems like, your regular Delta flights, your regular American Airlines flights, your regular JetBlue flights, as long as it's not a Boeing, those regular flights that hold 200 people, 300 people, those aren't being affected.
Yeah.
Those are, it's all happening with smaller planes.
Yeah, if you do look at it, if you take a look at the news, you see the plane itself, it is a smaller plane. Yeah. Nothing large, especially the flight that flipped and rolled over. Mm-hmm. That wasn't a big plane.
Yeah,
it was Toronto. Say make sure
Toronto.
It happened in Toronto.
It landed and then it rolled over. I think that one of the wheels broke or something, based on how the image looked.
And three people passed away from that one, right?
I'm not sure.
I think it was 3 people because there were survivors with that one.
Yeah, I think pretty like you said 3, but pretty much everyone that was on the flight survived. And probably the people that weren't buckled in.
The only one, and like I said, there was one where I think it was in Arizona. Mm-hmm. That was like only 2 people, mm-hmm. which was the 2 pilots, mm-hmm. Gone. Right. Mm-hmm. The other big one was the Black Hawk one. Everyone passed away on that one. Yeah. No one made it out. Yeah. But flying is still the safest way to travel.
Yeah.
Like I think the statistics are like you're like 10 times or 20 times or something wild more likely to die in a car crash than you are on a plane. And I would be interested to see, like, you know, in the last 2 months or a month and a half at this point, what is the percentage for getting into a plane accident from then to now? And I'm sure it's still
pretty sure
really low. But I'm sure I'm sure that this hasn't moved the needle that much.
No.
Still tragic.
Like I said, I think it's just media highlighting it.
So then my question would be why? Why? What else is happening?
I don't think it's anything. I think it's just the fact that being that the new administration is doing massive layoffs in different sectors, just to obviously to cut back in to save the country money, which was another focal point of the new administration when they were coming into office. They said we're going to do our best to pretty much bring everything back into the country. Yeah. So let's save money, but all right, they laying off individuals that they deem are unnecessary or are taking up too much capital, and they're just there for doing like very futile jobs. Like, all right, we have this person that are doing the job, or we have 4 people on job that we only need 2 people to do. Without overstraining those 2 people, why do we have 4 people? Let's get rid of those 2 and keep these 2. So I think the issue is that being that there's massive layoffs happening, and then the FFA or the FAA had their layoffs, they're highlighting, oh, well, these plane crashes started happening because there's not enough people in the FAA or within the airports itself to support the takeoff and landing of these planes. And then it kind of, like I said, it doesn't make sense because it's the pilots that are landing the plane. Like, you have your instruments on the plane itself. You also still have tower control. So it's like there's still people there that have been there for years and years and years. So it just doesn't add up. Like, you can't just forget how to do your job. You can't forget how to fly a plane. You can't forget how to land a plane. You can't forget how to direct a plane to go up. The instruments are still the same. You didn't fire the instruments. Like, you know, you didn't fire the instruments. All the computer systems are up and running. So it's like, it just don't make sense. That's why I'm saying I feel like it's just being highlighted due to the fact that the layoffs were happening. That's all that that's the only thing that kind of makes sense. That it's just being highlighted to me, because like I said, you said who's on the plane. That kind of made sense. It was, to me, that would make sense. It was the first flight where the blackout crashed into the plane. Yeah. But then when it started being reported for different flights here and there and there and there in other countries that aren't affected by the FAA layoffs, then what's the point of it?
What is the FAA? Because I don't...
It's...
What's the acronym?
No, could you...
Or just a gist of it. You don't have to say that.
Well, pretty much it's... I don't want to be incorrect about this. Like, could you... I would say look that up.
Let's continue while you're looking that.
Federal Aviation Administration.
There you go. I knew it was air something, but it wasn't. I know it was.
Say it though, because they probably can't hear me.
Federal Aviation Administration.
Yeah.
So, just think of I don't know if this is a good simile. Think of the IRS or think of
IRS was good.
Yeah. Who investigates law enforcement? Internal affairs.
Yeah, internal.
Think of an internal affairs for your flights, right? Just checks people that is checks and balances. Do we need 5 people for a 2-people job? Do we need are we using the best instruments for putting in the plane? Do we have the best parts?
But it's like the government's being audited in a sense. So it's like we're...
wouldn't you audit your own government? Because when you print out free money, where does the money come from? We in $1 trillion in debt. Why you print out more money?
But that was done under, I think was it done under this current administration? Last one. It was?
Last one.
Yeah.
Print out free money. Free money to give to different countries.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Nah.
But I mean, like I said, like, and that even leads into like the whole Doge conversation because right now, if you have been actually paying attention to what they've been doing and what they've been talking about, there's a lot of money that's just floating around, or there's a lot of money that's been going around to people that has no tracing to what is it going to, or when they find where it's going to, it makes no sense why it's going there.
There's
there's billions of dollars that's being
quiet as kept. This is like the modern day mafia.
In what sense?
This is how is this not organized crime? How is this not like just taking taxpayer money and just sending it out and just like, yeah, it's for this. Shut up. Like, how is this not modern day mafia? How is this not the mob?
It's always been the mob.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a good thing. It's a good thing that it's being highlighted and shown to us as far as like, because you sent me a link with Poor Man's Podcast, and he had the live feed of Trump doing press conference, and explaining where certain money is going, and it's interesting because it like. I mean, I watched the one where Elon is in the Oval Office with a cap on and his kid.
I'm not sure about him.
I know, but when he was highlighting about where
it did make sense.
Funds was going and how funds were being like delegated and how certain practices such as the retirement filings were being done. And
some dude had been getting Social Security for the last 300 years. 380 years since 1700s. Like, how, Sway? Like, what?
He's like, I don't know if that person should be in the record books for being the longest person alive.
No. See, so, like, we get so ready to just, throw stones and bombard somebody without actually listening. Like, this is how long are we gonna do this, right? Like, when it was the Jim Crow era, and a little black boy was pleading, saying, I didn't touch her, I didn't do anything, I didn't do none of that, right? And he got bodied, right? Hung, bodied, and showcased for the entire world to see, like, yo, his mother did that, this is what y'all did to my son. Years later,
the person comes out and says,
I didn't do it, right?
No, why? Not I didn't do it. Like, it wasn't true.
It wasn't true.
Like, I just said it.
Why are we so quick to bombard people without actually listening? He's the devil. He's this. He's that.
Yeah.
Yo, we're in national debt. You think you think your gas and your eggs are expensive now? You think all that shit is expensive now? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, it's not happening under just one administration. It's not happening. This has been years in the making.
Yeah, but like I was saying before, is just the fact that now that they're highlighting it and then they're making it public, so it's public that we could see and hear. And when
it needs to be public,
it should have been public because this state is for the people, right?
Well, talking about for the people, let me go quickly back to your boy Obama. Everyone praises Obama, but he also put into effect that the government can use propaganda against its own people. So, like, that means that everything that I'm watching, whether it be on the news or online, could be a lie. and you're giving and you're presenting this information. Why would you do that of all people? Right? Why would he do that of all people? Right? Come on, yo. It's all a game.
Yeah.
It's all a game.
I appreciate it.
I'm wary of Elon. I am wary of Elon.
You have to be wary of
X.
You have to be wary of. You have to be wary of everybody, but of everyone.
Well, we are in debt.
We are in debt.
Something needs to happen.
I mean, they're making changes now, and they're broadcasting the changes that I'm making, and you could go ahead and read articles on what's being that's happening.
Did you hear about the
the $1,200 to $5,000 stimulus.
Yeah.
That's a possibility.
Money that's gonna
come back to the people.
Yeah, money that's coming back to the people.
But again, I was always raised nothing comes for free.
I don't think
there's always a price for something. I don't think something
that is free. I think he said pretty much what it is capital that us the people have put in is being returned to us, being that it's not going to places that it had no business going. Which makes sense. It makes it fair, but
lining people's pockets.
Lining people's pockets to then fund the economy.
No, I'm not talking about lining our pockets.
Oh,
you was like, the funds being allotted and going to places where had no business going.
In that sense, yeah.
Lining people's pockets.
Buying condoms and. Buying condoms for where? Somewhere overseas. It was so they're buying condoms for them. There's funds going overseas to buy condoms. Yeah,
I don't doubt it.
No, it was on the House Speaker. Yeah, the House Speaker was talking about it.
Do we outsource? Is everything we do outsourced at this point?
What you mean?
Is everything that we do outsourced? Like, is everything that we get? Is it coming into the country? Like, what do we make?
Are we importing everything? You're saying?
Yeah.
No, we import more than I think we put out. That's why we want to bring everything back in.
That's crazy. That is insane.
So I mean,
it's been like that.
Yeah, it's kind of been like that because from Clinton. So Clinton opened the door for that, and then it's just been slowly going. But
nothing's in house.
Yeah, I think now we just want to pull everything back in house, restructure the economy here instead of having to worry about. All right, we're gonna have to deal with this other country that we really don't care to.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to bring everything inside in order to really rebuild the country the way we.
Because let's really think about it. Like, what are we like? Three steps away from being considered third world. Like, let's think about Flint, Michigan. Mm-hmm. You don't got water. You ain't got clean running water.
They got water. It's just not clean.
Exactly, it's not clean. I can get sick. So like, what are the huge differences between a third world country and
certain parts of
this country? Like, it'd be clean running water, mm-hmm. access to housing, and access to food.
I think so, yeah.
So, like, for certain parts of the country, if you don't have running water, you're already like 2 ticks away from being considered a third world country. Like, that's crazy to me. Mm-hmm. Like, we're supposed to be the biggest superpower, and like there shouldn't be any parts of this country that are struggling that bad.
I mean, that's the case in I think every country. Every country has certain areas that are just bad, but I just feel that if we take the opportunity to slowly restructure the areas that need the help the most, we could possibly bring the country where it needs to be. Because Flint, Michigan has been an issue for how many years now?
Almost a decade.
And then, like I said, we talked about in the previous episode, the last time we came together, is that we still had these fires that are happening. That's something we need to get under control.
Did you see the investigation? Did you see the investigation with the fires?
Yeah. So
it don't make no sense.
Like I said,
it don't make no sense. I want to hire. The idea is I'm gonna hire a firefighter for your community that looks like you, right? So if you're in a black community, I'm going to only hire black people, regardless of whether they're, suited for the job. So if I'm in a white community, I'm only going to choose white people that are that's the idea of the fire commissioner in California. That makes no sense. I don't give a shit whether you're Asian, black.
It shouldn't matter.
Why? I don't care. My house is on fire. My family's in here, and I can't get them out. I want some 6'3", 6'4", big burly dude. I don't care what race you are. Big burly dude, and come lift us all the fuck up out of here.
That is a high matter. You're supposed to, as long as you have the capability.
I don't listen, man. I listen. Bust down that motherfucking door.
Get through the door and
bust down that motherfucking door and get in here.
Yeah.
I don't care how you fucking look.
Yeah,
I don't care. I don't care how you look.
It's just you have the capability. You know that you have the know-how to get us out safely. That's all that should matter. So, I mean, if that's the way they decide to go about it. I guess
it's crazy.
I don't know. It's just very funny how I guess in this year 2025 that we have and we're getting information of how I guess stupid our country.
Absolutely. The people always knew.
The people always knew. It's just the fact that it's being highlighted, and now we're getting numbers and facts and data to go along with it.
Well, this is the age of awakening.
Yeah, so
we have the internet.
So if that was the case, the Age of Awakening started a long time ago. It's just the fact that it's just being narrowed down so that there's information that can be picked up and is legible and understandable to everyday people.
Well, I mean, 2025. 30 years ago was 1995. So, give or take a couple years, you figure around 1995, everyone had dial-up internet. They had access to it, but it was more so that you could find it in a lot of people's homes, right? If they could afford a desktop. 30 years is a drop in a bucket.
1995 to 2000.
No. I had in 95... Because they had Windows 95. I had Windows 95.
Well, I'm just
yeah. So like I mean I had that. Mm-hmm. I had a desktop in my home, and it had to press the button on the bottom and press the button on top. Some people don't even know how to turn on those desktops anymore. But 30 years is a drop in a bucket to all humankind, but look how far that we've come. Even look how far, like 10 years, so 95 to 2005, you've had the emergence of YouTube. That was huge, right? And then 2005, 2015. Look at the difference between what YouTube was and then what it became, and like how popular and how much money you could actually make off of that. Now you look at 2015 to 2025. Everyone has a podcast. Everyone is online. Everyone has an online presence, regardless whether if that's you or not. It's there's been an extreme technological advancement as far as like the internet is concerned in the last 30 years, and again, that's a drop in a bucket. We just a little over 100 years ago, we were just making planes and building huge infrastructures in the industrial age. That was just 100 years ago. That's also a drop in a bucket, right? This has been a huge 30 years for technological advancement.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's just weird stuff.
What's weird?
It's just weird.
What's weird? Is everything?
Yeah, just everything. Like
we just keep going. We're pushing further and further. I think that's what it is. We're pushing further and further, and we as the people, we're demanding our leaders to be more responsible. And at the end of the day, they're only human, so they're faulty as well. So it's just like our technology is pushing ahead of our capabilities as far as the proper ways to use it, without using it to, What's the best way to say it without putting the people into a trance to make the people do what you want them to do instead of just
hypnotized.
Yeah, instead of making a free and a real democracy, you're using it to lullaby the people into whatever you want them to do.
Islam.
Yeah. So and then at the end, and at the same time, like with like you said, with technology pushing forward, it's like we can't really keep up. So we're just.
Well, so I want to use the TikTok. I want to use TikTok as a vessel right now. You go to different countries. TikTok is nothing but scientific videos or mathematical equation videos or just like educational videos.
That's due to the
algorithm. Yes,
but that's also due to the government.
Yeah.
China.
That's due to the government within that state or country controlling it.
So, but we have an issue here where everyone's attention span. If you don't catch them in 10 seconds, it's over. Like I'm moving on to the next thing, and how it takes. I think I said this before. It takes 10,000 hours for you to gain mastery over something. If I can't pay attention for 10 seconds or longer than 10 seconds, then how am I supposed to gain mastery over anything?
I mean, that's all that means is just everything gets accelerated. So if it takes that amount of time, it will have to take less.
That doesn't make sense because then you're gonna have instances where there are certain things that you just need to train on, right?
I agree, but what I'm saying is if the attention spans are shorter, right, it will have to take less time to pull in that information. So if it takes 10,000 hours,
but you can't expedite.
You can't, but then it would have to be the process because if we're in an age of information where everything's being done quicker, we ourselves have to start learning to retain information quicker. Like if we can't look at, well, I can't say we.
I was going to say that's not the way the brain works.
Oh well, we're still learning how the brain works.
Yeah.
So if information is being shoved down our throats at a quicker rate, we'll have to learn to take in that information faster. But so if it's like I say, if it takes 10,000, if you say it takes 10,000 hours to master something, we will have to figure out a way to, or they will have to adapt to make it 5,000 hours, like make it 5,000, like cut it in half because I get what you're saying. It don't make sense, but the way that technology is moving, you have to become faster.
Well,
you have to because technologies are not slowing down for us.
Okay, but
information's not slowing down unless you take the time to like, all right, I'm gonna read this article. But if the upcoming generations attention span is just shortening, then the information that they have to pull in is just gonna.
Not that you're being disingenuous, but I think that the conversation is being skewed just about technology, where like the comment was about skills. It takes 10,000 hours to master a skill. That doesn't have to be just internet based. So like you can't cut.
What I'm saying is, I get what you're saying, but with the advancement of technology, a lot of these skills are being removed and being placed into the hands of technology.
But you're not okay. You're saying a lot of these skills are gonna, be taken over technology. Technology is not gonna overtake being an electrician. Technology is not gonna overtake being a plumber. Technology is not going to overtake being a teacher. Technology is not going to overtake being a firefighter. Technology is not going to overtake being a police officer. Those are different skills and different things that you need to figure out.
Saying, if you're listening, what I'm saying, with the advancement of technology, right?
That's fine.
With the advancement of technology, right? Circuit boards and electrical wires get improved.
That's fine.
So the need for X amount of people is going to cut down, right? But with these improvements comes better ways of fixing these processes that you won't need to come and be a hands-on individual. You might not
for everything. That's
not for every. What I'm talking about, I'm not talking about the here and now. I'm talking about how things will eventually start to progress. Like you need a physical teacher, but eventually, because we're getting AI, right? We're getting robotics. Eventually,
I don't want.
Eventually, that in-person.
I don't want a machine teaching me.
It doesn't.
That's.
But that's
you want Skynet.
You think about it, right? If you think about
even
it,
with
and I
editing,
sent you that thing with the exoskeleton of that. If you think about it, they could start putting faces on things. And they could easily start removing certain things by adding different things in.
Okay, so you brought up teaching, right? Because a lot of people like to say like, oh yeah, you can teach that way. I want you to take a child that has adverse behaviors, that can't sit down, that I want you to take a child like that, right, and put him in front of an AI. How you managing that behavior? They won't. That's not gonna work, bro. You talking about these little white kids that you putting in front of them. It's for them. It's not for us.
Now. It won't work right now because I
don't think it'll ever.
I think that
work. I don't think that'll ever work.
I think it can work.
I don't know.
I don't think it'll ever work.
Time will tell, but if you, I'm just the way I'm thinking is eventually everything can be replaced.
Yeah.
And eventually, once the people take the time to research into it,
so you feel like we can be replaced?
Yeah.
Man can be replaced.
Certain things.
Yes.
And into what? Replaced by what?
I don't know.
They come up with.
I think there's a
whatever they come up with. Who's they?
But
who's they?
But you have to take the
No. Who's making the technology? You just said they. Who is they?
People that make the technology.
Who's the people that make the technology?
People.
So,
but
you can't make something greater than you can't make something greater than yourself.
If something is processing, if you're creating a computer, and the computer or if AI becomes sentient, right?
You're saying
it's not even if. It's not even if.
It's when.
Whenever, because they're creating something that has the ability to think on its own, and then once it thinks on its own and becomes aware, it's going to become aware.
Using all algorithms.
It's using algorithms
man has figured out.
But we don't, like I said, we don't know how the brain works. We could be like we ourselves could literally just be. We could just be organic machinery, right? Technically. So if we are now the creators creating mechanic machinery that thinks on its own, eventually it'll start to think and process on itself. I mean, that's what they're currently working on, right? Yeah. You're asking ChatGPT to do, not you, but people are asking ChatGPT to do things. So you're asking a computer to think like you. You could write into ChatGPT your writings, and it will think and process a writing that like how you would write it. Using
prior knowledge and prior mannerisms that who put that information in there.
Yes, using information that's gathered.
Who gathered information to put it up there?
Yes, but then from that gathered information, it can start making its own thoughts and processes. And that's
There's still a limitation to that.
There's a limitation. There's a limitation
because inherently humans are limited.
There's a limitation. Yeah, there'll be a limitation until it like I said, until a certain degree, because if you're like of late, they're creating computers that have quantum processors. Okay. Like right now, there's a computer that has a quantum processor, and right now they created.
I feel the government has something way better than that.
Right now, they just created a new material that is another phase of material that deals in the quantum. Legit, there's an article I could show you. I was just reading about it. Too. Yeah, so they just created a new phase of organic material that they've created. I wouldn't say organic, but a new phase of material that they created. Mm-hmm. Like all we're doing is pushing and pushing. Like so, eventually we can create something that is better than us.
If it's not already like that.
If it's not already like that, we can create something that's better than us. It's just a fact. I mean, damn, we just keep going further and further with the conversation.
No, it's good. I mean,
I get it, but that's the way I think is just like, we're gonna keep pushing until eventually we're gonna create something different, something new, and based off the information that we feed is something new, determines how things go in the future. But we can be replaced. We're creating replacements.
Yeah. Humbly disagree with that.
We are creating replacements. AI is a thinking process. Yeah. It's a brain.
That's limited by its creator.
It's limited to what degree? Limited. Because if all the information, if whatever you want to write and whatever you want to do can be looked up on the internet.
Who put the code in?
What I'm saying is, if you want to go install a pipe, and you could ask an AI how to install the pipe, but it has the ability, it knows how to do it.
Okay, that's fine. But someone with the prior knowledge that knew how to put that pipe in had to tell the machine, or it had to be programmed to do that.
It's been programmed in, but now it has that information.
Okay,
so it's repeatable. It has the ability to constantly do that.
So you're what it sounds like what you're talking about is not the efficacy. It sounds like the ability to do it faster.
No,
just because you're doing something faster doesn't mean that it's better or that it's better than the original. We're seeing that now.
So what doesn't make it better than the original?
Okay, so when that AI system makes a mistake, when it breaks down or it needs a system update, who's doing that? Right? It's not doing it by itself. Yeah. Even though I can learn.
Not yet.
Now it's not yet. Listen.
The whole conversation, when it comes down to it, is not yet.
I'm not sure.
40 years ago, nobody believed this.
Exactly. It's not yet. Like, nobody thought about quantum processors until we made one. Nobody thought about a different phase of material until we made one. It's not a what if, it's a not yet. That's all it is. I'm still
gonna trust the dude that has 20 years of experience over a machine.
That's understandable. Like I'd rather do it myself, or I'd rather have the ability to do it myself.
So then, so let's go back to the teacher conversation. I still didn't get an answer for what is that AI system doing with that kid that doesn't learn.
I did give you an answer. My answer is we don't. Huh?
What is that? Well, what is that system doing for that kid?
As for like right now, I say
no.
Right now? Are we talking now?
No. Because if you
talking future, then I don't.
What would it do?
I don't know what it will do, because by then wouldn't there be enough studies on how to deal with children at that with.
We've been raising kids since the beginning of man.
Yes. But since the beginning of man, certain kids with certain trades were dealt with in a certain way.
Yeah, gotten rid of.
Exactly, those ways were gotten rid of, right?
So now let's jump into the 70s. In the last 50 years.
Yeah, but then that's in itself. When you jump into the 70s, it's still research that had to be done because people didn't know what that was. People were thinking these kids were just unruly, or you understand. So it's just all it comes down to is just gathering data on how to deal with these individuals. Okay, it's just all it is gathering data. And then we can figure out a better way to handle it. I think because the way they handle it from the 70s to now is different, right?
Just say yeah.
No,
it is different.
It's not really.
It's different.
No, it's not.
You used to have a dunce cap and you could sit in the corner if you act a certain way.
Okay. So
I wouldn't know because I wasn't here.
I wasn't here neither. But
so the comment was, you was able to put in a dunce cap and sit in a corner. No, that is that. No, what you're talking about is more so around the 80s and 90s. So if y'all really want an educational, story on like the history of like children with unruly children or children with disabilities, I can give that to you, right? Early 70s, before the early 70s, you had a place in Staten Island called Willowbrook. I actually, when I was with the older people, I'd serviced the dude that was from Willowbrook. What's in Willowbrook? Just a room with 50 people with all disabilities. Don't know what the fuck is going on. Shitting on themselves, eating slop from looking like prison and shit like that. So that's what we're talking about. That's 50 years ago, right? So that's just human. That's just basic human. Just basic human care, like I can't stick you in a fucking room and think you're gonna be okay, and have 50 people with 2 nurses. Mm-hmm. That's what was happening, right? Now we jump another 10 years, and now those kids are in the classrooms, they're not being sent away from their families, and now it's now we got to figure it out, drug them up. Mm-hmm. That's what then that's what's happening. Mm-hmm. Now we're figuring out, maybe the drugs aren't, the best route because it's changing. Kids are still guess what? We talking about kids getting drugged up in the 80s. Guess what? 2025 kids still getting drugged up. Mm-hmm. You talking about 25 years ago? No Child Left Behind. Kids are still being pushed along into our society, supposed to be upstanding citizens with no capabilities because they just got pushed along, right? Instead of people, you gotta hold him back. You gotta hold her back. Like they need it's not even about the education. They need the skills, and they don't have those skills that warrant them to go to the next grade. No. We're just gonna keep pushing them forward, right? So it has not changed that much, right? If you're talking about Willowbrook, yeah, cool. That is most definitely changed. That is just basic human, like, don't have me in a goddamn room. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. But anywhere from mid 80s to 90s, it hasn't really changed that much.
That's true.
Education hasn't really changed that much. It just it's like changing your bed sheets. Like, oh shit, my bed sheets are dirty. Get some new bed sheets. Are they any different? No, they're just new, right? It's doing the same thing, right? It's hopefully keeping you clean, right? It's not doing anything different, right? They school systems do this constantly every couple years. Oh, we're gonna try this different. Oh, we're gonna try that different. And guess what? The numbers are getting lower. The numbers are not changing, right? Mm-hmm. There's not enough resources to say, like, okay, this works. If you ask me, a classroom of 30 to 1 isn't equitable. Mm-hmm. It doesn't make sense, right? Give me a classroom of 15 to 20, right? Cap is hard cap, 20, right? What does that mean? That means that you need more teachers. That means that you need more space, more classrooms. That means that you need more resources, right? What is currently happening, right? And this is not an attack on Trump because I'm giving him a chance, but you can't a chance.
This is a chance.
I can't. That was probably just a slur of the word, but you can't defund something that is already not working. You feel me? Like if you're talking about the corporate aspect, I can understand that. But when you're talking about being inside of a classroom, and I can use that argument for being a police officer or being a firefighter or being a nurse or stuff like that, you can't defund things that are actively publicly servicing people. Mm-hmm. We're public servants. You can't defund public servants. You're seeing what happens when you defund a public service with fires in LA right now. It don't work. It does not work. And I'll be damned if I sit here and get on and say that a computer is going to be a computer that's being programmed by someone who does not have the skill or does not have the human aspect to connect with somebody else. To say, like, yo, I know that you're going through this. What do you say to a child that lost his mother? What is the AI gonna say to that? AI is never going to be able to recreate the human experience that a child or a person would need to connect and make better choices. And that's what we ultimately need. We need people to make better choices and be and want to provide access or to uplift our communities and our society.
Yeah. We hope that doesn't happen.
You hope.
We hope that doesn't happen.
Because
we all want to work. You know what I'm saying?
To what you're saying.
Yeah, we all want to work. You know what I'm saying?
At the end of the day, I get what you're saying. I get your point. Like, you can't recreate.
There's no way you can.
But it's possible.
I don't think it's possible.
It can be possible.
If it's possible, then that means that's a good thing.
It is a good thing, but it ain't
a good thing for the
It's not a good thing
for everything.
It's not a good thing for everything, but
it's not a good thing for everything.
And it's also not a good thing for individual, like, teachers itself, because
I would say any public service.
But at the end, but my thing is it has the ability to gain a conscience. If it has the ability to gain a conscience, or it has the ability, you would put those units or whatever in those positions. The ability to, I wouldn't say feel, but have a understanding of certain emotions, and then those are the things those are the units you put into those situations.
Like
I mean, like, because
I guess.
That's the only thing I'm saying. I'm not saying to completely replace, but when it comes down to it, like,
well, you're just saying that humans can be.
We can be. What I'm saying is
completely replaceable.
What I'm saying is that we can be replaced. I'm not saying we're completely replaceable. What I said was we can.
I don't know if we want to put yourself in a position for you to be replaced.
No, you don't want to be.
Yeah, no one wants. Everybody wants a job.
I never said we want to be. But
everybody wants a job. You know what I'm saying?
Are developing and progressing. We can be.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't think so.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not. But the way they go on Futurama is not so far.
Intergalactic space travel? We can't even get to Mars.
Yeah.
Stop. Here we go. We still sending drones to Mars.
No, I mean, like,
intergalactic space travel. We're
right now. Everything's a process. Like with the added bonus of having AI or having smarter computers to process things, then it gives us the ability to do certain processes or calculations to get us to these areas. Do calculations to create the materials that we need to get to outer space. Mm-hmm. Give us the time lapses or the propulsion systems to get us from Earth to Mars in less than a couple of years to like 6 months, or to a year to 2 years, to from 2 years to a year to 6 months to a week. Like, that's the process. That's the power of a computer.
Yeah, but all of that is fine. But then you turn off the conversation of, well, do we look for do we look to inhabit it somewhere different?
I mean,
do we focus on the planet that we have right now?
The idea is to fix home and then decide to go elsewhere.
You can't do both at the same time.
You can't do both at the same time, but you can't hope for a progression.
No, you can't. But what is more important?
More important is building here, but at the same time, if we have to look outside in order to bring resources in to build here, then we have to look outside too.
That's looking outside would mean looking out to different planets.
Yeah, but
how are you gonna look?
They're looking at, but they like, so if we like the movie route, right? Right? Movie route. If we go movie route, right? How like we're like
predicted it.
You know, right? If you go the movie route and they're like, oh, we need to get resources, like, we're running out of resources. Where else can we get these precious materials? Well, they're currently now they're already talking about going to mining asteroids. Like, we need to go to asteroids to get precious metals. Like, okay, so we could do that. Like, there's certain things but we need to be able to get to it. We need to, like, that's the purpose of building, like, superior forms of knowledge, or AIs, or a better processes, so that we could do better calculations that'll take us years in a matter of like a day or hours, so we could do more in the future. That's all I'm saying.
I'll use the astronaut as an example of what you're saying. So, a couple years ago, astronaut would have to go out and fix whatever's wrong with the hull, right? It's crack in the hull. Astronaut would have to go out, fix that, and that might take a little time. It's a little bit more dangerous. Now you have AI arms that you can utilize.
Oh, you got a little drone that just pops out?
Little drone that pops out. Yeah.
Fix it, whatever.
That's all fine and dandy, but I'm bringing it back to Earth. Let's bring it back to Earth. Let's bring it back to like everyday living, because like we're not looking at SpaceX. We're not dealing with interdimensional traveling and quantum processors and stuff like that. Cool, it's being made. That is cool. How do we get this community to look like that community? How do we get this child to be on par with that child? So it's not a black or white thing. It's not a white or Asian thing. It's not a Black or Spanish thing. it's a America versus everyone else thing, because greatest superpower, our educational system, or our results, our testing results are still like top 50 or some craziness like that. That doesn't make sense at all. You have someone currently who is not a Native American, very very close to the White House or to the commander in chief. I don't know. You gotta watch these things.
Yeah.
You're relying on outside sources. You're relying on somebody else. You're relying on AI. You seen Wally? Everyone gonna be 500 pounds.
What could happen?
It could
happen. It doesn't.
Everyone 500 pounds because you don't gotta do nothing.
Yeah.
You gotta do nothing else. It's those little things. But then even so, going back to Wally, even so, someone still needed to be in control. It was sentient. Everything was being done, right? Most people just fell asleep or ate, but they still had a command center where stuff could be shut down and you still have to do something on your own. I think it's too much heavily reliance into technology. I'm a technology major. I love, I'm all in it, but there has to be some sort of human factor to everything that we do. Because
human feel safe?
Yeah. Because the less human
battery done.
The less
what percent?
15.
Oh.
We at 130 though.
Okay.
Damn, really?
Yeah. The less
on both of them?
Yeah.
15?
No, yours is good.
The less humanized that we become, how can we tote being the best species, or what do we become after that? What are we gonna be like? What do we call ourselves after that? We're no longer human.
You gotta evolve
into
something else. You gotta become better.
So cyborgs. That's because this is what
I'm not saying
cyborgs.
But if you want to remain relevant, you have to become better.
Who are we competing against?
We're gonna be competing against our creation.
Mm-hmm. Our creation, there's a natural. See, now it just seems like how to extend your own life, because it's like because
that could be the case, but then that doesn't have to be the case as well.
Alter carbon.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you just gotta think about it. People already now talking about sooner or later, you're gonna have robots being at the cashier. That's a job's eliminated right there.
That's terrible.
So I mean, you gotta think there's certain things that's gonna happen that.
I mean,
either you improve and do something.
So
else.
Okay, so I would be okay, even though that's cutting somebody's job out. I would be okay with a machine being a cashier and giving out, something like that. You don't need less human error is fine. Give me back my right amount of change. And people are less likely to argue with a machine.
Make that shit. Give me back my $10. See what happened, bro.
Yeah, But see, even I'm going back to the depths of society, and it's people are always gonna find a way to cheat the system or cheat. This is why I would say that technology is just only as limited as the man making the code. Humans are always going to, and that is our superpower, which is what I don't want to lose. Our superpower is adaptability. We adapt to everything. Mm-hmm. We're the only species that can adapt to everything, mentally, physically. We adapt to it, right? So the more the more we rely on machines, do we lose that? Do we lose our capability to adapt to new things? We don't need to lose that superpower. Just like just like our melanin. For us, that's our superpower. We can lose that. We can lose that superpower if we allow certain cultures to
infiltrate.
You feel me? Like, so there's something sacred about what we as humans do that we shouldn't be so readily to give up to AI.
I don't think it's readily, but
you're giving the more you allow AI to take control, the more you're giving up the humanity aspect.
Because the idea is to make things easier. We use technology to make things easier. So
that's fine, but you can't let it
give it up.
You can't let it infiltrate everything.
You can't infiltrate everything, but if it makes everything better overall by having a bit of it in this field or a bit
can't
of it,
stop it.
It's just gonna be like it's just gonna be slowly integrated into the system. That's why I'm saying the only thing we can do once this comes into full play, or AI comes into full play, is we ourselves have to become better. And that's the only real solution. We have to evolve into something better, because at the end of the day, we're gonna be
the only way that you would be evolving better utilizing AI is to become a cyborg.
Right, integrate technology, or
because
organic technology.
Because then you have to start integrating that technology into yourself.
That's the only.
They're already trying to do that.
No, you're no longer human.
You're not thinking, but we have to become better.
They're already doing chips
already,
bro.
That's the only way, dude.
They're already installing chips in people, bro.
They're installing chips because they understand that, like yes, AI will move. It's going to keep going.
So you gonna get that? So you gonna get the little bean so you can swipe your hand to?
No, I'm not getting it.
That probably won't happen until
that
they're long gone.
No. They're already putting already putting beans inside of you.
I know but we don't. I think that in itself, that type of technology, it has to go through like a human rights type of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because you can't just. All right, now everybody has to do it. No, like I don't want that on me. I don't want that in me. Like stuff like that. That's when it starts dropping into the humanity of certain things. But understand what I'm saying is technology itself is going to be evolving. But to integrate technology into yourself, it has to be something that has to be a worldwide acceptance of it.
You don't think that there will be because look at social media. Look at.
That was the point. That's the point I'm making.
No,
it's going to be accepted to some degree, but in order to compete. The main thing I'm saying, in order to, like, when it comes down to, in order to compete with what we're creating, we have to become better by ourselves. We have to. It's not an if or maybe, or it's either that or we extremely limit the AI's ability.
You have to. Why wouldn't you limit some? Why would you want something that you create to take control over you?
What I'm saying is not that it's going to take control, but what I'm saying is if we keep pushing the envelope, if we as humans keep pushing the envelope, it's going to keep evolving. It itself is going to keep evolving. So we ourselves, in order to compete or to stay ahead, we have to evolve too.
Final thoughts. Wrap it up. Yeah, one. Final thoughts.
Be human. Be human. And enjoy your capabilities and master yourself and master your skills. Stop letting AI or everything, you motherfuckers don't know how to write.
I mean, like,
they don't know how to write.
We had stuff that we were going to talk about. We definitely went down a big ass rabbit hole, and we kept sliding down this rabbit hole. But it's something to actually talk about.
You want to talk about those? You want to talk about those? I didn't put that
but it translates into different things. Like, but it's interesting to see, like I said, how how information about our countries is being given to us, willingly without us having to dig for it, that's a great thing.
No, that's great. That's amazing.
That's a great thing, and I think that's the transparency the government needs to have with its people.
Absolutely.
It's just the fact that all this information or where all our funds is going makes no sense at all. And at the end of the day, like, all we can do is, like, we have to be better people. With technology evolving, I said, like, we have to become better.
So, because I'm just gonna keep going down this rabbit hole. Like,
save for next episode.
Yeah, I don't want to fail safe on me now. I don't want to fail safe on me.
Yeah.
David Dash is out here wilding. Click. Boop. I don't want Krillin with the big red button. Yeah, I want Krillin with the big red button, and he gonna actually push it. Nah, yeah. I don't want to be put in that position.
Yeah, I mean, like,
so I got another 50, 60 years on this planet. I'll make the best of it, and after that, I'm done. Like, it's just the circle of life. I'm good with the circle of life.
Yeah.
I don't need anything extended. I don't need to become anything else.
This is interesting, a back and forth rant. Conversation. I was like, what the? I'm sitting here thinking and listening to him talk. I was like, yeah, where did we get here?
Those. That's how we got here. Those out here because the conversation is turning, because it's like we're looking at.
Oh, this is supposed to be last thoughts.
Yeah. Wrap it up. Where's Dave Chappelle? Wrap it up. Boop. Just enjoy what you're able to do for you and your family, y'all. And
just be better people.
Just try to be a better version of yourself every single day.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of it, life is short. We talked about it as if it were going to be here forever, until forever is tomorrow. So do the best you can while you can, and enjoy the people around you. Be aware of your government, what they're doing. Be aware of your surroundings. Till next time.
We were born too late to traverse the seas, and we were born too early to traverse the stars. But we're here right now.
Like, comment,
share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Tell more friends.
Peace.